Hi, I'm Tim Bielek of the Northeast Ohio Media Group, and I'm joined today with the 2015 Boys Track Athlete of the Year, Ryan Adams from CBCA. Ryan, congratulations.
Thanks.
It has been a strong high school career for you, 5 state championships, including the 1600 this year at state, where you set the Division II state record that had been around for about 30 years. When you look at what you're able to do at that state meet to set that record, how satisfying was it to put your name in the record books?
It was a very difficult thing to do. There's some points in the season where you're going through all these races and all these workouts, and you're thinking, is this even worth it? Is this what am I really doing here? And sometimes you don't see the outcome come as quickly as you want to. But I trusted in what my coach had me do, and once I came to the state meet and it came time for the rubber to meet the road, that's exactly what happened. And it came to the point where I didn't need anyone else beside me. It would have been nice, but just to be able to push myself to that and then see that time on the clock once I crossed that finish line, it was really surreal. And just hearing the crowd really actually cheering me on down that last home stretch was something pretty incredible, because you always get a nice clap when you're in first, but when people realize that you're on a record-setting pace, people actually get excited, and you can feel that change in atmosphere from the crowd. So.
When you came into the season, you came in as a two-time defending state champion. You won the 800 and the 1600. How much did those two wins really change the way you prepared, because you knew that you kind of had a target on you entering your senior season?
Well, I definitely knew I had to be serious from the get-go. I knew that people would be looking at me as someone to definitely beat in every single race. There's not really a race that I would really sort of blend into the crowd like I had my freshman and sophomore year, and even my junior year. Although people started realizing I was more of a contender that year, but it was something where I'd go into the season really prepared to really race anybody who was ready to challenge me, because anyone can come up and have an incredible race. Who knows how people are at the beginning of the season. Doesn't matter how they were last season, but it's a new season. So it definitely did affect my training mentality of I'm gonna go for the win in every single race I do. I'm not gonna settle for second, because second, it's quite honestly, it's just not first. First place is always the goal for me. I've never gone into a race thinking I want to get second, because then you end up getting second or worse.
And then you mentioned that throughout the season, I believe it was only one time you didn't finish first all season long. How much did that preparation help you achieve that kind of record? Because, you did it all season long, just that consistency of consistently being first in every race except one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was sort of good, I think, actually, to have lost that one race, because I think it is good to lose a race every once in a while. Just sort of reminds you, hey, I'm human. I can lose, so I can't go into any race taking it for granted that I'm going to win. It's really going to take an effort, and it's going to take a mentality of it doesn't matter how I'm feeling. I'm just going to go for it regardless. And I think that's something I sort of learned from my cross-country season, because I was undefeated up until the state meet until then, and it was sort of a different feeling going into the state meet and having someone next to me, whereas through the entire season I'd run completely alone. So going into the track season, I was like, it doesn't matter if you're undefeated going into the state meet, anyone can really step up and really take that from you. So it was a good reminder that, this is why I work hard in practices, so I don't have to get second or third in a big race.
Going back to your record-setting 1600, you were building to that definitely the last month and a half of the season. You came close to it at the district meet in Bedford 2 weeks before the state meet. What do you think you learned about yourself, knowing that you saved your best race for the last one to set that record?
It was good. I think it's a huge testament just to my coach's training. My coach, Craig Roop, he's also a runner, so he's a young guy, but he's definitely built a program in the past couple of years. And his first year was actually my brother's senior year, so he's sort of really crafted me from my freshman year to my senior year. So it is an incredible testament to how he's been able to coach me and really build me from scratch. And but I was really happy to see that that I didn't put my best time down at districts, because quite honestly, I wasn't going for a fast time like that. I ran a 4:08 at that meet, and I remember telling my coach a couple minutes before the race, he's like, so how are you going to tackle this? Are you going to go out strong? I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm just going to go for the win here. And he's like, you know what? No, I don't want you to do that. I want you to really go after this. I want you to go out in your comfortably hard pace and really see what you can do from there. It doesn't matter who's with you. And it really did help that Joey Rossetti was next to me for a solid 2 laps. But I felt really awful, which I knew crossing the line. Like, all right, so that had to be a good time for as bad as I felt, because like I know that 4:16 won't feel like that. So I crossed the line and I heard everyone was pretty excited. And then once I heard the announcement of like 4:08, I was like, all right, so that's a pretty legit time. That means by now my training is really starting to show. And now I'm a contender not just for another title to defend my titles, but I'm a contender for a state record here. So
now that your high school career is over, you're off to Furman University to continue your running career. How excited are you for the next chapter of that?
I'm very excited, actually. It's going to be a much larger field. I know it's not going to be quite as easy to get that amount of gold medals around my neck, but it'll be a new goal for sure to really look at starting from the bottom again, which will be a lot different even for my team. Like I was always the one leading workouts for my freshman year, so it'll be an interesting experience going into this and having guys to follow as opposed to being the one leading everything. And I'm sure it'll be an adjustment, but I'm really excited to really take that next step to the next level, because it's going to be a huge step. There's a big difference between collegiate and high school, as I'm sure you know. So it'll be just that next step in my career. So.
All right, there you have it, the 2015 Boys Track Athlete of the Year, Ryan Adams with CBGA. Thanks for joining us, and make sure you stay tuned to cleveland.com for all of your high school sports coverage.